Hello Achievers! Today we'll talk about one of my favorite tools for personal growth, setting SMART goals. Goal setting should be simple. Do you want to lose some weight? Well, just exercise and eat better. Do you want to save some money? Skip a few of these and put the change in the piggy. But most people still fail. Not because they're lazy, but because their goals have not been designed to keep them motivated for a long time. So grab your favorite cup of coffee and let's see if today we can make your goals a lot smarter.
You are watching the Achievers Toolkit. Build a better you.
Okay, so right now, as I'm recording this video, it's December. And a lot of people, including myself, and quite possibly you, are thinking about their New Year resolutions, which is a very common goal-setting practice. New year, new life, right? Well, not always. According to Forbes, most people give up on their goals after 2 or 3 months, and only a statistical minority keep working on them for the whole year. Other studies paint a much darker picture, suggesting that about 80% of people abandon their New Year resolutions by the 19th of January. That's like not even 3 weeks in. If you don't believe me and if you think this is too bad to be true, I'm linking both studies below. They are an eye-opening read. But if this resonates with you and you feel you are part of this bleak statistic, don't panic. You are certainly not alone, and by tweaking your goals to make them smart, you can significantly increase your chances of success. In goal-setting theory, SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. The concept was first introduced in 1981, and since then it's been backed by multiple studies as one of the most effective frameworks for goal setting. And I can tell you from personal experience, it really works. So let's analyze the 5 steps you must take to set a SMART goal. Step 1. Find goals that are specific. Why specific? Why is this important? Well, studies show that specificity in goals triggers our brain's reward system. The clearer the path, the more motivated we stay, because we can visualize the end result. Our brains are naturally wired to perform better when we are pursuing specific, well-defined goals. So why not using biology to your advantage? I have personally failed in this area more than once. When I was a bit younger, I remember setting some very vague financial goals without clarifying exactly what I wanted to achieve. I just said, this year I want to be financially better off than last year. But what does that even mean? Making more money? Saving more money? Investing more money? I just didn't bother to narrow down my goal. So yes, I ended up making more money, but also spending a lot more. So in reality, I wasn't making any real financial progress. I just had a bigger budget for fun. In retrospective, and knowing what I know today, I should have said something like, I want to increase my income by X%, save X amount, and invest X amount. So remember, your goal has to be specific, otherwise you won't even know what you're chasing. Step 2. Your progress must be measurable. Numbers matter, even if you hate them. You must be able to tell yourself that you're making progress, and you need solid proof. For example, if you are trying to lose weight, set a measurable goal, like losing 10 kilos, and then add some milestones, like 3 kilos for the first month, 7 kilos by the end of month 3, and then your final goal at the end of month 5. This will tell your brain that you're moving in the right direction. Studies show that people who track their goals are more likely to hit them. So it's not just numbers, and it's not a waste of time. Measuring your progress will help your brain stay motivated and focused for a longer period of time. And that can make all the difference between failing and succeeding. Step 3. Your goal must be achievable. Ambition is great, but you need to be realistic too. If your goal is simply impossible, it will backfire, and you will lose your motivation eventually. The sweet spot is stretching yourself without setting yourself up for failure. Get out of your comfort zone, but don't get so uncomfortable that you end up quitting. If your goal is achievable but very difficult, I recommend that you break it down into smaller steps. For example, buying a house these days is extremely difficult for most people, but it's not unrealistic if you work hard and smart. I like this example because it already ticks the first 2 boxes. It's specific, you want to buy a home, and it's measurable. You will know when you complete each part of the process, until you finally get the keys. Now, some people, depending on their background and their personal situation, they might say that this is not achievable. But to me, something unachievable would be to say, I want to be the first guy to set foot on Mars. I'm realistic enough to know that no matter how hard and how smart I try, it simply won't happen to me. But people buy houses all the time. It's getting harder, I know, but you don't need to be superhuman or part of the top 1% to do it, at least not yet. So, in conclusion, make sure you do a thorough reality check every time you set a goal, and you'll be okay. Step 4. Make sure the goal is relevant. If your goal doesn't actually connect to what matters to you, your motivation will just fade out eventually. For example, if you are pushing yourself to climb the corporate ladder when you don't even remotely enjoy what your company does, it's just a matter of time until you either burn out or stop climbing. An important question to ask yourself is, does this goal move me closer to the person I want to become? Studies show that alignment with personal values keeps persistence high. Then it becomes more than just a temporary goal. It's part of who you are, and it's a step to build a better you. Even if your goal is very materialistic, like I want to make more money, fine, but what do you want the money for? What's the ultimate purpose? To retire, to pursue a passion, to buy something specific? And how is this something specific going to make you happier or a better person in any way? Those are critical questions, so make sure you link every goal to something that resonates at a deeper level, not only to maximize your chances of success, but to make that success relevant to you. Step 5. Make sure your goal is time-bound. I personally know people who have been working for decades on the same business idea or the same artistic project, and they never finish them. They never have anything to show. This is a true story. I know one person, he's the father of a friend of mine, who has been developing a software for about 2 decades. The software by now must be absolutely outdated, and even if he finished it, I doubt it will have any relevance or commercial success in today's world. But sure enough, this guy still keeps telling himself and his family that he's working on something big. Achievers, without solid deadlines, goals tend to be just pipe dreams, something people keep in the back of their minds to feel that one day they will achieve something far greater than their soul-sucking daily grind. But that day never comes. So don't be this person. A clear timeline with milestones and stages will help sharpen your focus. For example, if you want to start your own business and you have a solid business idea, then set a deadline and keep yourself accountable. Don't lie to yourself, don't tell yourself I'm working on my financial freedom or I'm developing my business, when in reality you're not taking any active steps. You don't have any milestones or deadlines, and you're not keeping yourself accountable to reach the goal one day. So, achievers, SMART goals aren't just corporate jargon. They are a science-backed way to make your ambitions stick. If you'd like to dive deeper, I put the research links down below so you can explore them yourself, and I would love to hear your goals. You can share them in the comments. I read every single one, so tell me, what are you up to? Also, if you're serious about taking action, you can buy a copy of my book, Tackle the Hustle, or grab a free chapter through the link below. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. I hope this video added a valuable piece to your toolkit. If it did, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow achiever who's setting big goals this year. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.